go ahead and, agenda stand approved as presented. Let's go ahead and open up the meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna read the regular minutes
Okay.
first.
All right.
Tuesday, May 13th, 2025, 12th day of the April term, the Henry County Commission met pursuant to adjournment at the courthouse in Clinton, Missouri. Those members present were Jim Stone, Presiding Commissioner, Mark Larson, North District Commissioner, Jake Bradley, South District Commissioner, Kelly Marriott, Henry County Clerk. At 9 a.m., Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. The agenda was approved as presented. The minutes from the Tuesday, May 6th, 2025 meeting were read. Commissioner Larson made a motion to approve the minutes. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried. Expenditures from the following departments were approved to be paid: Buildings and Grounds, Prosecuting Attorney, Law Enforcement, GR, April Elections, Administrative Handling Cost Fund, Capital Schools, General County Government, Tri-County Child Support, Coroner, County Clerk, Road and Bridge, Victims Advocate, Inmate Security. Jesse Phillips, citizen, approached the Commission regarding Senate Bill 190. He questioned if and when it was going to be happening. Commissioners told Jesse that they were currently working on the ordinance to adopt Senate Bill 190. Carol Scott, citizen, approached the Commission regarding Senate Bill 190. Carol expressed her concerns. Sergeant Brandt and Sergeant Logan with the Sheriff's Office attended the meeting to discuss the Community Outreach K-9 Day. They presented the Commission with the Henry County K-9 Day release of liability waiver suggested by Mike Keith Insurance. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to allow the Sheriff's Office to put on the Community Outreach K-9 Day and approve the liability release waiver presented. Commissioner Larson seconded. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Dennis Bowers, Road and Bridge Supervisor, shared that they were putting up guardrail on Northwest 100 in Davis Township. They have been busy replacing culverts, brush hogging, and mowing. Commissioner Stone asked how the new mulcher was working. Dennis shared it was working well. He shared that he looked at some roads in Osage Special Road District after receiving a complaint. He shared that the road district has rolled the dirt on the back slope. Commissioner Larson made a motion to appoint Paula Kinder to the Senior Citizen Service Tax Board for a term of 4 years. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Charlie Kidweiler spoke with the Commission regarding the sunshine request he made to Davis Township. He shared that when he asks to see the books, he has met with refusal by Ted Holt. He shared that Ted told him he would make copies, but that he couldn't see the books. Rick Watson, Collector Treasurer, and Scott Largent, Assessor, met with the Commission to discuss Senate Bill 190. A draft of an ordinance was presented by Commissioner Larson. There was a lot of discussion on the proposed ordinance, when the county could pass the ordinance, and the dates that this can be implemented. It seems that all offices are ready to take on the challenge. It's just a matter of getting it implemented. The first year is going to be the most challenging. Scott Largent shared about the Missouri Property Tax Credit, aka Circuit Breaker tax credit, that is already out there for seniors. It applies to not only homeowners but renters and disabled. I'm going to fix that. Seniors. Individuals can get information on the circuit breaker at the Senior Center in Clinton. Bruce Dewsbury shared information on the circuit breaker and current Senate and House bills. Commissioner Larson made a motion to appoint John French to the Senior Citizen Service Tax Board for a term of 4 years. Commissioner Bradley seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Commissioner Bradley made a motion to end session. Commissioner Larson seconded the motion. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes. Do you want me to print you a new one of that? To approve?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
Okay. Motion made, now second. Approved minutes as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Okay, the special.
The special minutes from the
Yeah.
14th. Wednesday,
No,
May 14th.
Don't need to read them.
I don't.
No, we'll read them.
That wasn't closed session. That was
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
no, that was
all
the
right.
meeting with
Then the
the
special.
with
Right.
Mark.
Now I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Henry County Commission, Wednesday, May 14th, 2025, 13th day of the April term. The
Right.
Henry County Commission met pursuant to adjournment at the courthouse in Clinton, Missouri. Those members present were Jim Stone, presiding commissioner, Mark Larson, North District Commissioner, Jake Bradley, South District Commissioner, Kelly Marriott, Henry County Clerk. At 10 a.m., Commissioner Stone brought the meeting to order. A special meeting was held to discuss the results of the soil and water testing done by Sunbelt Environmental Services, Inc. in the Davis, Deepwater, Bear Creek, and Walker Townships. Henry County has hired this third-party company to test for issues caused by fly ash dumping hauling. In attendance, I'm going to read some of these names wrong.
Oh.
Chuck Casely, Evergy, Mike Lohman, Public, Daryl Wingard, Evergy, Dottie Dunn, Public, Michael Rosier, Public, Mike Carroll, DNR, Dale Lawler, Public, Elizabeth Cole, EPA, Ben Bogdan, Alliance Water, Andy Elliott, Jared Morrison, Evergy, Cody Swanley, Public, Emily Wilson, Public, Vicky Westhusing, Public, Chase Larson, Public, Jonathan Garut, DHSS, David Kozad, EPA, Ben Washburn, EPA, Bill Wilson, Public, Jake Elliott, Katie McDonald, Evergy, Mark Harden, Emergency Management, Connie Cook, Public, Deputy Richardson, Sheriff's Office, Larry Lehman, DNR, Jeff Wenzel, DHSS, Randy Brown, EPA, Jenny Ty, Public, Kevin Sullivan, Public. Chris Schaefer with Sunbelt Environmental Services, Inc. and John Riley Tech Lab attended the meeting via phone call. Chris explained the results of the soil and water testing. He shared the detections that stand out in the report. Mark Harden, Emergency Management, asked Chris if the biggest things that stood out to him were the water and the hexachrome at the school, and Chris said yes. Bill Bogdan with Alliance Water District shared his interpretation as water expert of the results provided by Sunbelt. Jonathan Garut with the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services explained drinking water standards. Dave Kozad with the EPA stated that their results all were pretty close, that methods of collecting and testing could be what made the differences in results. The EPA offered to do more extensive testing at the Davis School at no cost to the school. The EPA explained that all the results were within the safe range and that no alarms are sounding at this point. There were questions asked to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources regarding fish in Truman Lake, as well as waterfowl. Lenny Lehman and Mike Carroll were there representing the DNR. They shared that fish are not tested for hexavalent chromium. Citizen Kevin Sullivan answered and raised questions. Kevin is well versed in testing of waters. There was a lot of citizen questions asked to the various State Department representatives. Chuck Casely and Jared Morrison, representatives of Evergy, shared their comments and concerns regarding the testing that had been done. Chuck explained that since the meeting held earlier in the year, that Evergy has taken steps to help with the fly ash dust coming off the trucks as they drive. They have washdown procedures before they leave the plant and before they leave the landfill. Chuck asked if they could schedule a meeting with only the reps from the EPA, Sunbelt, Evergy, DNR, DHSS, and Henry County Emergency Management, where they could lay out test results and do comparisons. He wanted for each entity to be able to ask questions. I'm just fixing that.
Yeah.
Ask questions of the others to see what kind of comparison they could achieve. It was asked if a local Henry County citizen could also attend the meeting as an observer. Commissioner Larson asked Kevin Sullivan if he was willing to be that citizen. Kevin agreed. The meeting was scheduled for Thursday, May 22nd at 10 a.m. After much discussion, at 11:18 a.m., Commissioner Larson made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Bradley seconded. Motion carried with a roll call vote. Larson, yes. Bradley, yes. Stone, yes.
Just that one correction, you corrected it.
I corrected that last typo.
I'll make a motion to approve them.
Motion, second that, and made and second to approve the minutes of the special meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, don't fight over yet.
Yeah, don't put in.
Oh, yeah. Get my quick nails. I gotta clean up my mess. You're right. I'm just getting into, hopefully, got some of it over here. Was you want to speak today?
Yeah,
So if you could put your name down, we'll get you on that deal right quick. Get it?
Got those minutes.
Okay.
Here's the other minute.
All right.
Do you want to make me approve copies? Forgot.
it's up there.
Give it to Amy there. We'll get her right quick.
Got the bills down now.
Mm-hmm.
We got audit.
What's the number?
There's the
20th, isn't it? You already been through. There's always. Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder if I need to sign all 3 copies. Or, I mean, yeah, I better do it, hadn't
I
I?
mean, one copy is for my records.
Yeah.
One copy goes to the collector's office, and the other one gets mailed to the entity. So
Well, hold on. I'll be out of ink by the time I'm done with this.
Kind of empty in here today.
Mm-hmm. Be quiet.
Took a little anxiety away.
No.
Storms or something else. A lot of people can't get out the driveway.
Yeah. Or where you live at?
I live out of Piper.
Oh, okay. You,
Luckily, it went each side of us. So.
yeah, you didn't have all the.
We had a lot of wind there.
Yeah, we did. That's
I
the
got
way.
an inch and 2/10 of rain. That was it.
Yeah.
No hail or nothing. So.
We had 2 3/4. Fine. I live down there. Down. Luckily, I went down. I'll tell you what.
Good lightning show.
Yeah. there was,
Well, if I had my old fiberglass business, I'd be down here pounding the pavement.
and I guess, Appleton City,
Yeah, they got it.
yeah.
I don't know what it is about where we live. It seems to go
Both sides.
right around us. I mean, it looks like it's gonna pour down right now, right around us.
That's the way it is. Those days.
But when it does hit, we get it here.
Okay. I think y'all could have maybe split these up a little bit.
Yeah, that's just the first step.
Well, this is not as thick as this.
No, the others are just.
Hmm? Now, if you call me and say make all these.
Got a cart contract from Bethlehem, but that needs to go to Jake, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Hold on to that for later.
You didn't have to talk to Dennis or anything, did you?
Mm-mm.
All right, I haven't talked to him today. Figured there'd be some of them. But I drove around ours over there. I only had that, actually that one tree. There was a big one down at Larry Conrad's yard and Tim's.
Jake gonna make it back Thursday? Did he say?
Huh?
Was Jake gonna make it back Thursday?
I think he's supposed to make it back. The way I understood, he was gonna try to. I don't. Cause didn't they go up to find out test results? I think that's what it was about. And I haven't talked to him since then. I figured. Must be about all. Okay.
Was Mark gonna come up? You know?
Huh? I don't know whether they're here. I figured they's probably downstairs all night. No, man. I'd say.
I know
No.
some, yeah.
And you probably. I don't know. I really didn't need. Shoot, I thought it was stamped them all. Missed one. Oh. Yeah. I got this. Get all situated here. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got him down. Good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah, we're ready.
Morning.
Good morning.
Well, I'm Michael Geyer. I spoke to you on the phone, crossed paths a few times.
Michael, Jim Sill.
Nice to meet you, Kelly.
Amy.
Amy, okay.
Kelly's at a conference.
Kelly's at a conference.
Well, I thought maybe you dyed your hair.
No.
Good morning.
I had a couple things I just kind of wanted to run through. I've been in correspondence with Jake. Seems like a lot of times Jake don't correspond back with me. I kind of started out a relationship. That's how I do it. Being that he's our commissioner over there, you know, that I talk to him on the phone, man to man, rather than Facebook and all that. Out there in our community, we're pretty tight. I seem to kind of be the center focal point of it. And we can be on my corner there and be outside talking, one neighbor stopped, and the next thing you know, the next neighbor stops. And, the one for the zoning, I could serve coffee and donuts. But I had a couple of things that kind of come up, and people talk to me, and I said, well, I don't have a problem talking to anybody. I'm not a great speaker or anything, but we all live in America, and you got to speak up and get involved and everything else. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get people in our community involved in a little bit what's going on, rather than just sitting on the corner and talking about it. You guys don't know what's going on. Nobody says anything. But thank you for answering the phone. You were sick. When we had the little fiasco of everybody being on the corner, I was in a panic attack. 10 vehicles showed up, even had boats. I was like, what in the heck is going on? Jake didn't answer the phone for me. What you didn't answer what was going on. I wasn't aware of the testing out there, but that was a chosen site. But one of the subjects that's been coming up is this tax thing here. These things here, some people have been getting them, some people haven't. And the way that our community is feeling right now, we don't feel like it's fair that we're being assessed a higher value when our property values are going down. A couple of neighbors had called Mr. Largent, and said, he kind of voiced it. I said, well, you can always go upstairs. I don't know what the procedure is, if we need to get Mr. Largent up here and talk about it, but we all kind of feel like we need a freeze out there. We've been stomped on, romped on between our school. We were having problems with our school prior to the fly ash contamination. I'm sure you're all aware of that. And the solar project, all of it, we all feel like we've had our guts stomped out there. Some people are for it, some people aren't. When the tax thing come up, people were like, that's not right. Our property values are going down. You put your house up for sale right now, you're not getting very many bites. That's all I have out there. I've lived out there almost 30 years. Just try to be a good person, live out there and take care of things. But I feel the same way. Why would we be getting assessed to get a higher tax rate or a higher assessment, which a lot of times they say, well, that's not necessarily higher taxes, but it always ends up that way. And we just kind of thought, well, maybe we get a temporary freeze on Walker Township, Davis Township, until this kind of settles out, or what settles out. Because a lot of people are like me, that's all they have is their homes, and they're proud of it. Several people have moved out there to retire, and now they're looking at their homes not being really worth what. I don't know if I can get what I paid for my place anymore, I have a good location. But like I said, I can't sell coffee or donuts out there, so I didn't know if maybe that was something that we could address. Might be plausible that, we could put like a temporary freeze on this assessment out there. Give the people out there something rather than getting stomped on all the time. Maybe it might settle things a little bit if they feel like they get something back. something, you know, from the county. It's not your guys' fault what's going on out there, but and we appreciate you guys dealing with it. That's what's going to take, all of us getting together and dealing with it. It was just an idea that, you know, we were all sitting out there talking about, and I said, well, I wanted to go up there and talk about this other subject. And I didn't know if I was on the 5 minute limit or not because my name was Michael. But, you know, I tried to have a little couth about it all. And that's kind of where we're at with it. I don't know how it starts or, you know, what to initiate or as far as do we need to get a petition, you know, and go around and get everybody to sign a petition that they'd like a temporary freeze on it. And, you know, I understand times change, everything has changed. My gosh, everything has changed. So I understand that, but really, where we're at, our property values aren't going up; they went down. I know. I've been checking around. You know, it's like I said, almost 30 years out there. It's really home to me. I wouldn't want to move, but you know, you gotta kind of weigh everything up and see. The major part is, you know, losing your investment that you've been working hard for all your life. I've been through 2 divorces and held on the farm, so I have fought for it. So that subject kind of come up. I don't know where it might go. I was hoping Jake would be here today because and the other thing that I was working with Jake on, which I've been doing a little legwork. I have a lot of responsibilities at home, um, and I work. So a lot of people that work, you know, they can't be here for the meetings, and we're grateful that we can watch it on YouTube now because we do, or your, you know, website, whatever. I think it's a way for people to be involved. Um, the other thing that's going on out there on that corn, and it's calmed down since the fly ash trucks have quit coming through, is the noise. There's a large grain company that comes through. We have a lot of trucks that come through for local businesses south of me. I don't want to be mentioning a bunch of names and start something I can't defend myself over, but the large grain company, you know, bought into Montrose Elevator and they haul grain from Harrisonville and Urick, and there could be 200 loads hauled a day, and our roads are tore up. People are like, oh, Sutton Trucking and hauling the fly ash tore our roads up. No, they haven't. Drive further south of Piper. Stay in the southbound lane, go to Montrose. You'll see what's going on. It's them trucks doing 80, 90 mile an hour, hauling overload. I know several of them that drive for this company. They haul overload, and that's what's tearing our roads up out there. But the noise is atrocious. It's flat. I used to have a CDL. I used to haul grain. I like to make a little noise. I got a hot rod truck. But I'm not going to rack off my truck right there in your front yard or your driveway or your house, rattle your windows out of your house or whatever. It's called respect, you know. So I've made some phone calls to some of the businesses around me that, you know, have trucking come through. A lot of it's settled down. The problem with the grain company is a lot of it's privately contracted. You got, you know, people don't own a truck that's driving for them. That seems to be the ones that are doing it. Most of them, when you ask them, hey, you know, you're really, you know, not showing respect by doing what you're doing. When you're coming a half a mile away from me, up at the grain bins where I work, they start in on the Jake brakes. How fast you gotta be going to use your Jake brakes for half a mile? That right there tells you something. And you know, these guys have done a great job. Things have really calmed down in our community since you come in. We appreciate that. But you know, you can't call the sheriff and be like, oh yeah, all this and that. So I tried to handle some of it on my own. Like I said, some of it calmed down. And I was talking to Jake. I know you have ordinances. I'm not for sure how you get an ordinance initiated. Same thing. I told him, you know, if it needs to be a petition, a noise ordinance, and it could be for the whole county. That way, if you're having issues on your corner or your intersection, you could address it. You would have a little leg to stand on. We could do it just like we did the change of address thing. If you want to sign up, this is noise ordinance enforced, like you see coming into town, or you know, a lot of these towns have them. Most of them do. It's a shame that you know that we had to go through and put signs up for a few people that I don't understand why they have to be like that. I mean, you would think, amongst all of us, we'd have common respect for each other. There's 7 residents out there. All 7 of them say, yeah, they hear it for miles coming. I said, how fast you gotta be going to use your Jake brakes for a half a mile? You're going pretty good. I know, I used to drive a truck, and it's fun, but you could still let off of that at a certain point to respect the residents that are out there. So my thought was, if we could get an ordinance, I'd be willing to pay $50, $75 to put a sign up. When I was talking to Jake about it, he told me to get back with me, and he never has. But he's like, who's going to enforce it? Well, the county could enforce it. Highway Patrol could enforce it. If it deterred half of it, then we'd have something accomplished. I've deterred half of it just by making phone calls myself and talking, saying, hey, could you tell your drivers to calm down a little bit out here?
These are gravel roads,
No, these are paved roads.
these
Yeah.
paved.
This is a corner of K and 18 High.
Okay,
Most of them come from the north, and they come back from the south. You come back from the south, that's actually uphill. You really don't need Jake brakes. I mean, and like I said, I used to drive a truck, and that's part of driving a truck. Oh, making a little noise. I'm in a big truck, But we have, there's other people around there. There's a resident down the road that has a dump truck. He lets off his Jake brakes way before the houses, if he's using them. And he's got a really good sounding truck. It's a real nice dump truck. It's just them few people, and then you get the cattle haulers. They come when the sales come. Like Monday, you'll have 15 of them come. And their little trucks. Oh my gosh, they're just so loud. And really, what's got me upset about this, and I'm not asking for nothing special, but I've got some cerebral palsy. We're sitting out there, and they go, whoa, and he throws his hands up in the air, and it's like, come on. I mean, really, that's not right. It's just, it's become a nuisance is what it has. Like I said, the few that I haven't been able to stop, I don't know. Maybe if we had a little sign out there that said, noise ordinance in effect. Like I said, if we could stop half of them, we'd be grateful out there. I know I would personally. I gotta go around and caulk my windows about every 3 years because they rattle the glass in there. But that's kind of the thing I was working on. I didn't know again there what I had to do to initiate a noise ordinance. If I had to go get the neighbors to all say yes. I didn't know how that would work. Jake said he checked into it. He never got back with me. And I know you guys are busy. That may seem like a menial thing.
no, it's not.
But it is. And when I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking of the whole county here. If we did something, a noise ordinance, and you didn't want to be involved in it, you don't have to. But let's say, you're living on another corner where it's going on. Then you could come here and buy a sign and put it up so that you could deter some of it. I just thought I'd run that by you guys, seeing how Jake's dropped the ball on me with it. I told Jake when I started communicating with him that,
That's all he's gone.
well, I was disappointed when he wasn't here.
No, he had an excuse.
I understand
Good
he's got
excuse,
things
yeah.
going on. We all do, That's
He is.
that's why I said we all do. But I told him that if he communicated with me, that's how we'd handle it
Yeah.
between me and him.
Right.
If not, I can come here and ask everybody in front of the cameras and everything, and deal with it that way. So that's what's brought me here today. I wanted to address that noise ordinance and the community gathering on the corner talking, the tax thing come up. So
The ordinance thing, can you give us a week or two?
yeah,
Let's discuss, see what we actually can do
Yeah.
as far as that. I'll dig into it myself, look up the statutes for it and whatnot, what we are able to do.
okay,
But if you'll give us a couple of weeks, and then Jake will be
Yeah.
back then too, and we can kind of try to figure something out. 'Cause, the bottom line is you pay your taxes, you want to just live a peaceful life. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So if there's something that we can do, then let's see. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, just being brutally
Yeah.
honest, that's one of those things we're going to have to research and find out and see what we can do. with it.
I'm pretty sure when I was checking into like the state statutes that, when I had my CDL, it had to be 11% grade.
Mhm.
and I think they did away with that. But
Yeah.
like I said, using them a half a mile away, I mean, that's
Well, you gotta be going pretty fast to have to use your Jake brake to
Correct.
begin with.
yeah.
I mean, that's why I wondered if, I didn't know if you were talking about gravel, because my first thought was, how fast are you going on that gravel road?
Well,
But if
some
it-
of them on gravel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can move right
well,
on.
you know, and I appreciate that they're trying to
Right.
make money and feed their
Sure,
families
sure.
and everything. I mean, that's what we're all trying to do. But like I said, that respect. I work for a farm, and I'm between Piper and Urick all the time. And I was tearing down some barns just a mile out of Urick. They coming out of Urick 90 mile an hour, just flying. And then there's a big curve there at MM Highway coming back towards Urick, and they're coming around that curve there. And my granddaughters, they like to go do litter control. It's something that I pay them to do, and it makes them understand, you know, tossing a cup out the window or whatever, you know, it just don't go away. But the last time I had my granddaughters out there in a side by side, it scared the
Made
heck
me
out of me.
nervous.
It did. It did. I wouldn't let them go no further than I could see them, and I thought, this is crazy. You know, it comes in waves. They may not be hauling, you know, no grain a day, but when they're hauling grain, when the price goes up, they're going to truck 200 loads. And, you know, we get officers come out and sit on the corner, and it's amazing. We don't get one load come through. I don't know which way they go, but it does deter them, you know. But these guys can't be out there all the time, and it's just a certain set few. So I would appreciate it if we could look into it. I'll do whatever I need to do. I'll help whatever I need to. I mean, kind of my little thing I started. So, but I think it could benefit all the citizens of Henry County. You know, I'm sure there's other places that are dealing with it.
What's your phone number?
660-638-4354 is my house number. And I got a cell number,
Okay.
660-492-2365. We don't always have good cell service out there, so I keep that landline.
Okay.
You gotta have that. Well, that kind of just basically touches what, you know, like I was wanting to say. I was just gonna make one little comment. I know you guys are doing it too, but in my observance out there, I've said it to some of the other neighbors. When this first come along, this solar panel stuff, I said, I believe you ought to be able to do what you want to on your own ground, as long as it's not affecting your neighbor or your community. This has kind of got out of control as far as people not respecting or the community or the neighbor. The main problem is, and I really see, you know, a lot of it going on now. You guys try to clear it. We're either uninformed or misinformed. Some people are listening to what some people are saying, and other people are listening to other people. So we appreciate you guys try to do what you can do between the fly ash, the contamination, the school, the solar.
It's really hurt.
It's a handful for you guys, and I just want you guys to know we appreciate what you're doing. You know, if we had more people stepping up in the community, it'd be a lot better. You know, county it would. It's hard. A lot of people are working and they can't. That's why I like this being able to watch it on YouTube or whatever. It keeps everybody informed. There's no reason why you can't say you don't know what's going on now. You can't say, well, I was at work. Well,
Right.
take an hour and watch the YouTube. If you want to go through and skip some of the check signs, you know, maybe you can do that.
I'll agree to that.
And sometimes it's a little entertaining.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. Hey,
So
you see the pile of checks we get. It's
yeah,
just,
yeah. Well, you know, a lot of people
bothers me.
don't understand
And then
what it takes to run a county. They don't. They get into work mode and they're just trying to take care of themselves and their family, and I don't have time for that, or there's somebody up there handling it. Well,
Yeah.
that's what we need to do is quit that attitude and get in here and start getting involved. If you got something to say, come up and say it. I mean, you guys aren't that ugly that you can't come in here and at least get up and talk to you or anything. Seems like y'all are trying to work with everybody, so that's about all I had for it. If you need to get hold of me, like I said,
okay,
um,
I'll that tax issue
yes,
that was sent out. I don't think they had a lot to say, but that's what went out everywhere
Didn't that come
on
from
the
the
state.
state?
Yeah, all that, a lot of it was
from
mailed
the
out of the state,
Well, I know,
but
I
they-
know,
they-
some of my neighbors have contacted Scott, you know, and he's
I
like,
did. I went, well, I got mine and said,
what
crap,
the
I want you.
heck? Yeah.
Well, I didn't make it.
Well,
Anyway,
you know, a couple of responses, like, you know, I know a lot of times when you're sitting up here, you gotta really pay attention to what you respond to, and how you respond to it. You know, it's like, well, I don't think, property values are going down, that the resellability is going down. Well, if the resellability is going down, then the value is definitely gone down. That's not a good answer to what's going on. I don't know, you know, hopefully you guys could think about that, throw it out there. I don't know what could be done, but I'll tell you this, if you could do something about the taxes, because that's affecting more people in that community than just there at Piper. It really make people feel like finally they're getting something that's not just a kick in the gut. It make them feel like, hey, okay, we can't complain as much. At least our county's trying to give us a little break out here, even though we've been stomped on. But that's just kind of my thought on it. So if you guys could pursue that and see what's going on, I mean, I'll be staying on it because somehow I got appointed the speaker of the community.
okay, well,
Hopefully.
I was wondering who to call.
Well, yeah, if you need anything out there, Piper, I can
Okay.
serve you free coffee.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Michael. Thank you.
Michael,
Hey,
Howard. Yeah, I appreciate your work ethic. That a lot. Oh, Nicholas, he's really deterred a lot of it too. Just having a sheriff's truck parked out in our community has really calmed down the nighttime activity.
That
That little
helps.
corner seems to
That
attract a lot of that.
Good.
I used to haul Nick to church all the time when he was a little heathen. He's a good kid though. Well, I appreciate you guys' time. Give me a holler.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Okay. Good morning, Al. Good morning.
All right,
Yeah.
well, thank you. How y'all doing this morning?
How you doing
All
today?
right, just doing a little follow up from the 1064, the drug identifier defender that you all approved with. It's just talking to Kelly. We just need the sole source justification letter to give to you all so that she can put it in the paper so we can move forward. So I just brought that to you guys and
I've got a copy
put it
of
on the
that.
minutes. You got everything?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Does everybody else need one? Are we good? Okay. Just saying that they're the ones that provide that a piece of equipment. So
Yeah.
once we get that part of it taken care of, we'll move on
Okay.
to the next step if you guys are all right with it.
Well, it does a lot of things. doesn't it?
They do.
Sorry, me.
Kelly said that
Move on.
that'll be in the paper this week.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Okay.
Got
Thank
anything
you.
for us?
That's it. Thank you.
Good seeing y'all.
Good seeing you.
One other thing. real
Oh,
quick.
never mind.
It's all right.
Aaron's
Lost
not
man
done.
sliding in there.
This is the surplus. Remember when we tried to buy the laptop?
Pretty good turn.
So we this is just to update it. So it's going to take Rick Fosner off, Bill Lawler, Jim
He's good.
Journey, and then it adds Mark Larson and Jake Bradley,
Okay.
and then it's adding myself,
You got everything.
Michael Brown.
Ah.
Might be changed. He's been called a lot of things.
Boy. When'd you start going by Mike?
Everybody's got to have a hero, guys.
That's just to update the,
This is to update the Missouri State Agency for Surplus Property.
Yeah.
uh, authorized
Yeah.
representative. So the only thing I did not do because I didn't know. See, so it just add. This is an add paragraph.
I'm here.
And then Ross Hills, and then Ethan Logan. So he's the one that makes our trips. And then this is to remove Del Lawler, Rick Fosner.
We don't have any noise
I'll use
ordinance.
it.
Yeah.
No problems. There's 2 pages. Now.
I'm gonna go ahead and put a little diesel.
He's really good.
I've
with
had
it.
issues like that.
They're very particular. I had to go through and have
No drugs or nothing. Just straight
No,
to
no
go.
deputy shootings or nothing like that. in Paris County. It's pretty quiet
I
county.
think 3 times a week he's got some drug. I heard that drug thing.
Well,
I'll tell you what, they're doing a really good job with that.
in the second page.
Yeah, they're definitely.
You want to make a copy of that?
That's fine. I can email it to you.
Well, she can use it. She can just zip through there.
This is to add Jake Bradley. The only thing I did not do is I didn't know what to add. They need a phone number, email.
The
Oh,
way that works.
So we'll have to write in.
we
And then,
better, we can just put
And
on this, it goes down there. I really think it.
yeah, I need to see that. Sure.
I guess we just went through all this. Jake actually has to sign this, so I'll just leave it with you. They're required.
Yeah, yeah.
So rural
I'll just
down
leave
there.
it with you now.
It's a very rural area and trying to keep up with all that stuff. And but for a whole bunch of people.
Mark?
Yeah.
You need the original ad?
There you go. There's the original.
Go down there and find.
Well, here, you need that.
But it's stay quiet, it's hard for us to hear.
Yeah,
We start
you need
hearing
that for your house.
I may just leave both of them with you because Jake has to sign the other one.
Oh, okay.
Then I don't want him to take one and lose
I
one.
got a stack of stuff here that needs Jake to sign it, so I'll just
Have
add
you
that.
got your laptop yet?
Actually, we do. Chuck is going through them. He's almost through them, and then we're starting to cycle them through. So if you know anything like these, whenever you
Is it,
cancel,
it's like one of these?
it's a tough book, but yeah, it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can knock them around. So when you cancel a Microsoft, you have to activate the Microsoft, and you have to do them at the same. So you cancel one, activate one. So we have to have our deputies bring in their laptops, do that, and then we have to have those. We bought the mounts too, so we have to mount them in the car. A little bit of a process. Yeah, they're all Chuck's offices all over. Very fortunate though, it's boy, that saved our. I couldn't tell you, we did the math too, it was like $50,000 what it saved, so it's a hefty chunk of it. We were gonna do a grant this year, an extra 4 laptops, so that just saved us.
Say that.
Yeah, use that for uniforms.
Everything else.
Yeah, no, we're chugging along. I'll probably holler at you guys later. We're working on the deputy supplemental grant today. It's due Thursday.
There's no us guys, there's just me. I was at a
Yeah.
conference, so, I will get to that at some point. Go ahead and send me what you need.
I will, yes. Working on,
Here,
I'm working on
put
it
that in
today,
the-
but that's really it. We're closing out the other grants, so the handcuffs and jackets and all that, we're closing those out and starting the deputy supplemental. So, other than that, no, yeah.
Good.
So, we'll see you guys here in another 2 weeks. We did, yeah. I want to say around 200-ish. It was very busy. Very good. Yeah, really good turnout. Everything was donated. It was amazing. Burgers, hot dogs, chips. Each restaurant over there made desserts, and boy howdy, they got me. They were good. But no, it was really good turnout. It was cool.
Good.
Yeah, Ferguson Park over there is cool anyway. Yeah, it was neat. We're having negotiations on our contracts over this week on Windsor too. So have some talks about that this week and hopefully next month we'll have that stuff. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. You guys have any questions?
Nope.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
See you soon. See you.
Bye now.
Awesome.
Nice to see you too.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for the tables again.
Not a problem, sir.
See you guys later.
Take care. Take care. How are you?
Good morning.
You got a 10 o'clock bid opening.
We do.
Yes, we do.
We got,
I know since me starting 2 minutes and then I have to stop because I'll just get started.
you want copies of these?
Hmm?
You want copies of the bids?
Well, let's see, yeah.
I'll
need
need copies.
Well,
I
I
think we've
have,
got,
he's, yeah, you know.
Yeah. But I've already won, so we'll just
Ah,
go with that. Be done.
Here, have you been giving me? You haven't been privy to them anyway, have you?
Do what?
You haven't been privy to copies.
Not yet. We'll be here in a minute.
The roads are a mess.
Who knows?
Even ours, it was like a lake down there. Jeff, we had to go down and get rid of a tree on the road. Jeff, we come down, got a track loader, and we hauled it off.
My phone started ringing last night, and it finally stopped about 10 o'clock.
Is this all the same one?
Yeah, that's just 2 copies of that one.
Little Sonic Blues last night.
We'll need one more of those, Amy, for
I
me.
need two.
One real
Two more, mate.
Yes, one was, oh my God. I seen the light and then just this huge bang. My God. My cat's jumped higher than he ever jumped in her life.
She's gonna slap my hands here in a minute.
Okay, there's 2 more of that.
This,
And then here's the next one.
one more.
Third one.
Three. Two more. I mean, yeah, one more.
One that's printing now. I think there's 5 total.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, let's see.
Fourth one. Two copies of the same.
If they beat my price, it was made in China.
Here's
Yes, you know.
that's the last one.
Well, and be wrong.
China makes balls of steel.
One to the. Okay. Let's see.
It's not supposed to ever grow.
Are these all delivered?
Alright.
Do what, sir?
Are these all delivered, or do you have to?
No, these are all delivered to the lot.
275 of them.
It was in the bid mark that, it had to be delivered to 1316 North Third Street in Clinton.
Alright,
So do we need to
we're ready.
list them out? Is that what
Okay,
we do?
yep. Well,
I don't think I've ever been able to do it.
oh, you have it?
Dennis is supposed to be
I'll
helping
start
me.
reading them off. We'll list them out.
The first bid is from River City Steel Company. In the amount of $30,329.75.
6 inch, 8.2
Henry County Bridges, Dennis.
Go ahead.
The second bid is
Yeah,
from Dam Steel and Supply in the amount of $30,250.
Thank you.
The third bid is from Alro Steel in the amount of $26,947.25.
Total.
Sorry? Total? Did I read the wrong line?
Yeah.
Oh, $26,959.15. I'm sorry.
My tail is stuck between my legs. I'm getting out of here. This is not.
Fourth bid is from T&W Steel Company in the amount of $26,969.80.
Oh my, yeah.
And
The fifth bid is from VBrock Sales and Service in the amount of $31,539.75.
Honestly, I'm not trying to make a dime off you guys like that. That's crazy. That's $5,000 difference. They must have had this stuff sitting around there.
6 inch,
I'd accept no rusted steel either.
8.2 pound. They're all the same supposedly.
That's crazy. Well, Dennis, I should have your beams to you here by June, but I'm gonna have to throw this one out. This is crazy. But can I get copies of those other Cole's bids?
I'll give you Jake's copy and then I'll make him some more copies.
Here, I'll give these check.
I can
Cause
have a copy right
here, I got it. I don't need it. After we get done doing,
Oops, sorry.
after we get done
Appreciate
doing
it,
it,
Dennis.
that'll be it. Okay.
According to me looking at it, it looks like yeah.
Is that Alroa?
Yep.
Alro Steel, is that how you pronounce that?
Alro Steel.
Yeah. Where'd they come from? Sedalia. Where are they located?
They're located out on East 50 Highway. It used to be where Sedalia Steel was.
Oh,
And
okay.
Alro bought Sedalia Steel and bought Wayne McMullen out.
Okay.
Or
I think I kind of remember.
Wayne, I can't remember his last name, not McMullen. Wayne Lane.
Thank you, Amy.
Well, that's close though. Look at that. 969.
The two of them was only about $9.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that's
Between
what
two.
it was.
Two of them's close. T&W. Some.
Dang.
Discussion. And take a motion.
You winning some and you losing some.
Motion, I'll second that. Motion been made to use Arrow Steel, the steel bid of $26,959.15. These are delivered.
That's delivered. Arrow says it'd be 1 to 2 week delivery time.
All right.
Right here, Jim.
2 weeks, 6 inch steel. Yeah. I'm reading.
So I'll notify the winning bidder and let them know that,
Do we need a roll call vote?
Motion been made, and I'll second it, to use Our Road Steel for the, steel bid. Voice roll call, Mark,
Yes.
Jim, yes. And Jake,
Absent.
absent.
I'll go ahead and notify them then and let them know that they got the bid.
Okay.
After last night's storm, I got all my guys out today cleaning up.
Did you get a copy?
Thanks for your
I
time.
got copies, yeah. Thank you, Dennis.
Man.
Hey, if all those other ones back out, I'll hold my price, okay? I can't price match on that.
Boy, that's the worst I've seen.
That was
You've
bad.
never been like that.
Yeah, man,
I
I
don't know
didn't
what
have much
happened.
of mine, so I don't know where they got theirs
I
at.
don't know.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyway, after last night's storm moved through, my phone rang until about 10 o'clock, and then it started ringing again this
Here,
morning
let me-
before 7 o'clock. So we're out cleaning up
This is the
trees
original.
throughout the county, wherever I need to go. Need them to
It's the
go.
same one, that was just the original.
Um,
It doesn't matter.
That's about it on that. After the meeting we had over here, and Jake seeked out permission from MoDOT or whatever, if the people wanted to fix their approaches, that they would have to pay for it and stuff. So I did have Ted get a hold of me with Davis Township. He needed 7 approaches fixed because he was getting complaints from his people, the people in his neighborhood. So we use lime screenings, which you guys know anything about that. Once you get it wet, once it gets packed in there, it's going to harden up and it's going to be there forever. So that's what he wanted to use. That's what we used. And matter of fact, I was over some of the approaches that we fixed last week, and they're still holding the same. And after last night's rain, they're still in good shape.
Not anymore.
So otherwise, we're mowing and brush hogging, and we did get this here's an easement agreement that I'll need Jim to sign, saying that the landowner already signed it, saying that we can go on his property to straighten out a creek channel. The creek channel comes down, makes a big U, and it's hitting the road over here, and the culvert's over here. So it's eating out the road over here and making a big jetty. Well, we just need to go in there. Over time, it's moved. So we just need to go in there and straighten it, move the creek channel back over and everything. So if you guys make a motion for Jim to sign that, and I'll make you guys each a copy of it. You should have a copy for you and one for me there. This was on 481 in Springfield Township. 480 in Springfield Township.
480.
Okay, motion been made, and I'll second it, to go in and straighten out the creek on this property and sign the easement. Voice roll call, Mark?
Yes.
Jim, yes, motion carried.
That's your copy. You need to sign that, Amy, for Kelly, and then when you get back in the office, you'll need to stamp it down here.
You have a
And
copy
then
of it?
you'll need to make a copy of that for Kelly and a copy for me.
Here, just make a copy of that. That'll be better.
Do you want a copy now, or do you want me to wait till I stamp it?
Just wait till you stamp it, and then I'll get the original, and you guys get a copy. This here is a soft match that I submitted to MoDOT for our money credit. They came back and said that I needed to relook at a few things, and so I looked at it all over again and stuff, and I made a mistake.
I can't believe that.
And so it lowered our soft match for the bridge on 1501, Northwest 1501 in Bogart Township. It lowered it $244.65. So therefore, if you guys are agreeing with the new total, after I fix the problem, I'll need Jim to sign it, and so I can resubmit it back to him.
Okay, we've already done it.
Yeah.
Just sign it.
Yep.
All we need to do.
And then there's a copy of that Jim. And I'll get this sent back off to the state for what it was is my fat fingers hit too many keys. So I think that pretty well brings us up to date on everything. I can't think of anything else. Mark, do you have anything for me?
You got my pictures, didn't you?
Oh, yes, and we did go, I was going to tell you that. We did go up there last week and fix that. And we dug the ditch out a little bit, moved it over a little bit, and packed the dirt back on the back wall where the fence was washed out. And then we rip-wrapped that down through there. What needs to happen, and one of these days that culvert will get bad and we can do it, but that culvert needs to be put at an angle, because what it's doing is shooting straight underneath the road, hitting that back wall, swirling, and then it's eating the backside of that ditch off. So what we need to do is wait till that culvert gets bad, and then just put it at an angle where it shoots more down the stream instead of more against the back wall. But we did get that fixed and taken care of, Mr. Evans. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything else. You're clear?
I'm good.
You're good? Jim, you good?
Good. Do you have many trees down?
Did you need,
Bethlehem, Davis, Bethlehem, and Leesville. We have a lot of trees down. It just kind of took a swath through there. In Leesville, they got in some of them campgrounds down there. They got several campers turned over and flipped. And last night they had some people trapped in them, but they got that I think pretty well resolved and everything.
do you need anything with this?
No, ma'am, I got the original. I'll send it off. It's
This
just
is
a
just
copy
an extra
for you
copy.
guys. So, Jim, you have anything else?
No, sure don't.
Amy, you got anything for me?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, or you don't? You know so.
Can't think of anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
How about
Thank
that?
you, Dennis.
I'm gonna stick around just in case somebody else has a question or two for me.
So I don't need to do anything else with those bids yet, do I?
No, you just need to
I got it.
keep
all
them
in
with the
minutes.
packet, and then I'll notify the winning bidder. I'll take it from here.
Cool. I can do that.
Hmm.
I'm talking to myself. This, sorry for her. Has
I
a
missed it.
signature.
Oh,
Do we need
yeah.
to wait till Jake's here?
Yes, we're gonna need to
We'll
wait
just
till
put it
Jake.
in the wait
Yeah,
for Jake.
yeah.
Also, these appointments for the senior citizens board also
Hmm.
to
Yeah, we'll probably need, yeah, I'll go wait and get Jake.
just put that
Look,
also in the
then.
wait for Jake file.
Hopefully then
I have a
Thursday, get
whole-
all
I
that
have a whole
signed.
And these are audit results.
Oh, that's our audit.
And I've got another one here for Jake, but
Alright.
I'll just leave it in his file.
I would like to know what that internal control, I really wanna know, and so far, we haven't found one. That dude, we was gonna copy it off another one, and said, no, you couldn't do that. We was gonna copy it off states, they wouldn't do it. 'Cause that's been on the,
Well, the county clerk's office has one.
yeah,
Rick-
yeah, but it's just that office, we was supposed to like go into the whole,
Mm,
all of it, and sign it,
Each
office.
each office
Yeah.
needs to do their own.
Well, then,
He-
they have to make their own
He
then.
gave them a
Yeah.
template at some point.
Oh, he did? Okay, well then, we need to get with office,
I don't know for sure, but
I'll find out.
pretty sure that they all have the same.
Do we have an accountant, or is that done through the county clerk?
It's the county clerk.
County clerk, so we got. me to dig out an old one, see what the difference is there. I wonder if we're getting pictures if we'll go through and clean up, cause that 125,000, see, we ought to be able to get that, get there now, I would think. If they'll just do it,
They take pictures.
yeah. They'll do it, I think it'll be. 'Cause I know all ours, heck, the culverts couldn't handle all the water, it just run over the top of it. And that ditch, of course, our ditch is already where they couldn't get to the ditch.
They still pouring the concrete on that bridge this week.
Wednesday, if everything goes right. You're talking about Northwest 400. If everything, if it didn't get flooded out last night, which I don't think it did because everything went pretty well through the middle of the county, they told me yesterday they would be pouring the deck Wednesday.
Okay.
When I was up there yesterday, they was finished forming up the abutments. They had all the deck rebar tied and everything, and they was gonna start setting concrete machine up on top of the bridge rails that tracks down. So
Do we have any culverts or anything washed out yet last night?
I have not had any reports of any culverts washed out. I just had reports of trees down.
Yeah.
There was a couple places that had like a little flash flood go through and flood the road out, but nothing like it was last time.
No. Oh, that's good.
But whenever you get 2 inches of rain in 30 minutes, something's got to give.
Yep, yep.
And we can't put in culverts for those occasional 2-inch rain in 30-minute deals.
No.
Otherwise, we'd own every culvert in this county.
Well, ours went 2 3/4, but it wasn't.
At the shop, we had 1 1/4 inches.
Yeah. Well, I think further down, you went down. So down towards the rackets where most of it is. And we had 2 or 3 trees on them. Red Conrad had one in his yard. And had that one ditch. And Tim Hager had one.
Leesville seems to be the one with the most trees down.
Yeah, I think they're, but see, that's getting close to the racket.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of that came through, I think.
We had a couple in Bethlehem over there on the Leesville line. The one out in Davis, it was a big old dead tree that just finally decided to give it up.
Yeah. The dead ones, the ones I worry about. Like, okay. I don't know about that. No, still. I don't think first, we just need to look into that. First camp. I know municipalities that can,
See,
they can do that.
is MoDOT the one that puts those signs up if they're on the highway though?
We'll see if it's on the blacktop over there, it'd be MoDOT. Yeah, I know, that'd be the person got to talk to. Can, MoDOT, was you in here on the noise?
No.
Huh?
Oh, that brings up another deal I forgot to bring you guys up about. I've been receiving a bunch of calls again about Booth Road and the semis and stuff. From what Kelly told me, we can't do nothing about it because I had her do some checking. And if the township, if Fields Creek want to do something about it, they're going to need to seek legal representation before they take any actions. Because there's some laws in there that come in play. And so Kelly said that, because I asked her if we can just go up and put up signs and she said that she'd do some digging. A couple days later, she called me and said, there's nothing we can do. It falls in the township, and the township needs to seek legal action before they just go up and stick up signs, because there's some laws and stuff that play into order there. And
Gotcha.
you can't just go out and pass an ordinance without having planning, zoning, and other things in place. And they don't have none of that in place. So, where you guys getting noise ordinance at, or noise complaints at?
Probably out by
It's,
Davis, wouldn't it?
yeah, that was Davis.
K and 18.
Huh?
K and 18.
K and 18.
Well, see, you'd have to go
That's
to
New
White.
Piper.
They've got.
You'd have to go to White Oak and see if they would want to pass any kind of ordinance or anything. With that being a state highway, both directions, it's going to fall on MoDOT to do anything about it, and getting MoDOT to put noise restriction signs up or anything, it's going to be almost impossible, I'd say. So,
that'd be MoDOT, do it.
you guys would just have to get a hold of the MoDOT people and discuss it with them.
What does Greg do?
Craig Smith.
He-
Go ahead.
He's on the highway traffic board. His job's in Jeff City. He's one of 7 people that sits on a board
Whole
that
state of Missouri.
oversees all of MoDOT.
Yeah, all state of Missouri. He covers big swath there. And really,
Something like that they're going to direct it down to the district.
yeah, that's where it's going.
And you're going to have to go to Springfield because
Yeah,
that falls in
south.
the Southwest District. If you guys
First
want,
place, go out here and talk to them.
if you guys want, I can
Okay.
do some research and some legwork and report back Thursday on if MoDOT has put them up on highways and stuff, but it's inside the city limits where the cities have passed
Yeah.
ordinances and stuff for it, and the cities are going to enforce it.
You know,
The bad thing about that out there with it being rural, it's going to be hard to enforce it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying. I mean, I can reach out to White Oak and see if they would be interested in it. And then I could also talk to MoDOT and see what would need to transpire in order for that to happen. And let you guys have a heads up on it
If you could.
Thursday.
That way at
you
least
know, I know MoDOT's gonna have to get the biggest part of that. It's gotta be-
Yeah, the biggest part of it's going to fall on MoDOT.
Whether they
Yeah.
do it or not, that's the next
But if the township passes an ordinance, it's going to help.
thing. If
But the MoDOT probably won't act on it until after an ordinance or something has been passed.
Tell you what, once you find out whether they really, that's what they want, then we might talk to Greg.
That's what I was thinking.
He can mention it to them.
Well,
Yeah.
or he could direct you the right
Yeah.
way.
And that's that.
I'll do some inquiring and let you guys know something Thursday.
Cause he don't need to get in a little
No.
conflict, but we can ask him and that'll help. Yep, if you can do that, that'd be good.
I'll do that.
So I don't know, I mean, when you get out there, it seems like years ago when they had the seed mill going down there, there's something going on then. I know there's a lot of tractor and trailers going through there.
Yes, there is.
I never thought about all the, and the elevator and trucking across there. That's
Well, the bad thing is the ones that's coming down. It's not so much the ones on 18, but it's the ones that's coming down K Highway or coming up K Highway. They get close to that intersection, and we start using our Jake brake or our engine brake, and
Yeah.
it just, it just makes more noise than it needs to be.
I don't know. Anyway.
Thought it was going to start storming there for a
Yeah,
minute.
yep, I was waiting.
What? Who? Was he about to,
We were about to lose it.
was we about to lose him?
You need to start arguing or something.
I think he's trying to tell you you're kind of boring, Jim.
Have we got him on camera good so we can get a good picture of the
Dennis?
storm?
No, not me.
Bruce, probably. I wasn't looking at the camera right now. I was taking notes.
Well, we have it.
Kind of a NASCAR.
Oh, Charlie, you want to talk?
Yeah, I got a question. Is the on ramps on the highways, highway department or the county?
You mean
Like what he just wasted time and money on putting that pea gravel on?
that actually, it's MoDOT's responsibility.
That's what I thought. Why would you put stuff that's already washed away? That stuff will not hold. The only way you're gonna hold those edges is mixed. Highway department got mixed. It should be highway department's responsibility to fix that. Right, instead of taking 6 guys out there, a dump truck, straight truck, pickup, bobcat, to do that, and take them so much time when MoBot can go out there and put mix on it, it's gonna hold. That stuff there, you look at, That won't hold. It's already washed off. It's like they look on the rest, but they wasted all that time and money.
Well, the problem's gonna be getting MoDOT out there.
Has anybody asked?
Oh, yeah.
We've sent call
Yeah.
reports to to Springfield for the last 2 years. We've called them the last 2 years.
And
We've
cities.
called out here the last 2 years, and MoDOT has given us permission to fix the approaches
And they'll pay for it.
if the township wants to pay for the labor.
And it's not doing any good putting that stuff down. You gotta-
Dry? No, but once
No.
it rains on it, it'll pack in there like
I'm just
rock.
saying, go out there and look right now.
I've been out there today,
I have too. And it's already dropped down 3 to 4 inches from the.
and it's going in, and once it gets packed in there, it's gotta get packed in there. You can't expect it to be packed overnight.
I need to do it right the first time instead of feeling around with it half a dozen times.
Charlie, you think you got all the solutions to
I just
everything?
asking questions.
No, you're not asking questions.
You're the one that think you know everything.
No, I don't. I'm a long ways from it.
Another thing I want to bring up, in this place that you're not supposed to have tobacco in this building, chewing tobacco is tobacco. There's guys sitting right over there chewing tobacco in this building. That shouldn't be allowed either.
Smoking tobacco is what the policy
Tobacco.
says.
Tobacco. It says tobacco.
Well, not in the handbook.
That one I don't know, but if you're gonna ask me personally, I really don't care if people smoke. At some point, I mean, I don't, trust me, my wife smokes, I will tell you. I do not like to be around smoke, but personally, that's your right. And I think we way overstepped our bounds, telling people you can't smoke someplace. I honestly, I mean, and I know I'm one of the few, but I'm a non-smoker and I hate the smell of it. But this is where, for me, it gets into personal rights. And I mean, it's no different when I look at a TV show and it says it's got a top and it says you got to worry about certain things, and smoking is one of them. I think we've got a little over the top. So,
Not in
I
public
mean,
buildings.
but for chewing tobacco and all that, I honestly, I don't know what the policy.
If you look in the handbook, Mark,
Yeah.
if you look in the handbook, and it's online, if Charlie wants to look it up, it says there's no smoking in county buildings. It does not say nothing about smokeless tobacco.
Yeah, and I mean, bottom line is, you know what? There's enough issues going on. The smoking seems pretty trivial to me at this point. So, I'm not gonna get, I mean, I could care less whether you got.
Can I get your telephone?
Sure. There's probably a card up there someplace. Unless I moved them. There you go.
Thank you. I get hold of it. I was kind of curious, like I say, that stuff's not gonna hold. You're gonna have to keep doing it.
Well,
It's all washing in the ditch.
if it gets wet, it will. I mean, it's like, I know what it is. It will get hard, but it's like anything else. It's gonna have to come back. You're probably gonna have to do it again. But personally, just being brutally honest, if that sinks down and you got a hole that's 5 inches, and by the time it gets wet and it sinks down, it's 3 inches. That's 3 inches you're not gonna drive in, because I'm telling you, MoDOT's not good. They already told us. I dealt with this 3 years ago. They don't have the people to do that.
Would MoDOT give you the mix? Put on those ramps?
Well,
If you're furnishing it?
what I actually used was, I actually just used gravel, is what I put in it. But honestly, that probably would work better than the gravel, because the gravel, you're gonna spin your tire and kick it out when you go out. So, as far as that, I mean, I do know that gets harder for a lot.
Mike Briggs is using that now on some of his roads.
Exactly.
I use it lots. I want some fines in it. That line helps them, makes it cost.
You know, in gravel it will, but you just can't put plain pea gravel like that and set it down and make it work.
Well, I know chat will hold it. Cause I've used that before too. But, yeah, if I would venture to bet right now is probably the best thing for what the purpose that we're doing. I mean, you're busy. If you're having to take time to fix something that's not actually ours, to fix it, when you could be doing something that actually is ours, and MoDOT doesn't have the people to fix it. So, I mean, my mind, something's better than nothing. I'm with you. I don't want to spend money needlessly, but I don't think that's good.
Just like he says, he don't have time to go around and do the brush hog, but he's doing all these other jobs. He should be doing what he says he can't get done, rather than fiddling around. That's not his job.
We mow the county 1.5 times with the brush hog. I have not, never said we don't have time to go out and brush hog. Once we leave an area, we don't come back to that area just to please one person.
And who might that be?
And by the way, just so you guys are aware of it, I did put up a private West Division sign on Charlie's Road. That way my mowers know where to turn around and stuff. That way they're not going down past our point.
So where did you put it? Up at the end of road 1001?
Nope, it's down there right across from the hedgerow.
That'll be changed.
2.5 tenths down the road.
Carmen's coming to see you.
Guaranteed motion.
I'll make a motion if we adjourn.
I'll second that. Motion been made, second adjourned, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Coming to see you.
That camera off, Amy.
You getting it?
Starling on that.